What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Today's video, we got a fun one. We have the Charlotte Hornets led by Lamelo Ball. Now, this is a team that did not do a whole lot this offseason. There were really no major trades, major signings. One major event did happen, though. They do not have Miles Bridges back, and I think you all probably know why. This is a team that was just in the play-in last season, ultimately ended up losing to the Atlanta Hawks, and never made the playoffs. So, we definitely have some work to do today with this team. The center spot's extremely weak. I think Gordon Hayward's time here is probably coming to an end. If I'm being honest with you, I do not see this team even as a play-in team this year. Maybe they can get that final spot at number 12, but I just really don't. Or excuse me, number 10, sorry, but I just really don't see it. So I'm assuming this is probably going to be a lottery team this year. Our goal is to obviously rebuild them and hopefully get them a championship. And finally, of course, if you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, we would love if you would. We would love to have you in this community. We know we'd all appreciate it. Of course, any other video ideas you guys do want to see, let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, we're going to keep doing throwback rebuilds. We're going to continue doing the normal rebuilds. And any other challenges you guys want to see, let me know. Well, without further ado, man, let's see if we can go get the Charlotte Hornets a championship. Let's talk about this roster a little bit. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not an extremely talented roster. They do have one of the best young players in the league here in Lamelo Ball. Transcendent player, does a lot of things really well. Definitely going to be leading the pack today. Definitely not going to be traded. He's one of the 2K big three, if you will, that always just turns into an absolute demigod hype beast, sometimes wins MVP. We have Isaiah Thomas, one of my favorite players in NBA history here, backing him up. Unfortunately, he's probably not going to be a long-term option at this backup point guard spot, but he's here for now. We have Terry Rozier, former Boston Celtic, probably the second or third best player on this team. The backcourt is really probably the strong suit of this group right here. I love Scary Terry. Hopefully can be here the whole video, but we will see. Obviously, it's going to depend on a lot of things. James Bouknight, who was their 11th overall pick just a year ago. I've been high on him for a while. I said that on his draft night. I didn't really know a ton about him. I watched some film, and I kind of became a pretty big fan. So I'm hoping Bouknight can kind of emerge as a solid option for us. We have Gordon Hayward here, obviously been a member of this team now for a few seasons. You know, Gordon Hayward has never been the same since his leg injury. And that sucks because, you know, from a Celtics fan perspective, he was going to be really something special in, you know, his time in Boston. Obviously, it turned into a little bit of something else. It really wasn't the best scenario, but I mean, you can't blame the dude. It just didn't work. Kelly Oubre Jr. is here. We got Cody Martin as well, then JT Thor. I can see potential playing time for all of these guys. You know, we might make a trade or two, and it might involve one of these four. We'll end up seeing what happens. The power forward spot. We have PJ Washington, who's not a horrible starting power forward option. I would have preferred to have Miles Bridges on this team, but, you know, issues get in the way. No, I'm just kidding. He's an absolute piece of shit. You don't beat up women. PJ Washington, we got Jalen McDaniels, and then Kai Jones here as well. So, I mean, we have three options, all relatively young. Really good thing about this team is there are a lot of young options here, but we'll see with PJ Washington. And then the absolute fucking tragedy that is the starting center spot on this team. I mean, I don't know who they're going to give the nod to. Mark Williams was just their 15th overall pick. I don't know if he gets the nod. I might give it to him today. We have Nick Richards, who was a second-round pick back in 2020. I know damn for sure it's not going to be Mason Plumlee. So we are definitely going to make some trades with this team. I believe we should have all of our picks. I can't really... Oh, wow, we don't have our first-round pick this year. I'm going to figure out who has that. I'm trying to think, but let's see what we can do. We're going to be making this trade here with the Chicago Bulls. We're going to send Kelly Oubre Jr. over there for Alex Caruso and a future first-round pick. I'm actually going to try to change this to maybe a first sometime a little bit sooner. How about this Blazers lottery protected pick? Is that possible? They want to say no. That's just, it's a little much at this point. How about if instead I throw you just a couple second round picks? Also, the San Antonio Spurs actually have our first round pick. I'm not exactly sure what trade that traces all the way back to. I really can't imagine it was like anything to do with Tony Parker, but I can't think of a trade between them. I mean, unless it maybe got shipped via another team, but wow, they really don't want to do that. Is there another pick that I'm maybe a little bit more interested in besides 2027? These are all protection backups. It literally has to be 2027. Son of a bitch, I just had the fucking trade. You know, 2027, obviously the Bulls do not appear that they have a lot of picks. I'll just take it. It's fine. Trailblazers actually have ended up making the playoffs occasionally. So we're actually going to play Caruso a little bit over Isaiah Thomas. I think Alex Caruso is definitely the better player at this point in time. Cody Martin will be backing up Gordon Hayward. I tried to find a trade for Hayward. He's just making too much money ultimately. So I'll see if I can find something for Mason Plumlee. If I can, he's 100% gone. I have absolutely no reason to keep him on this team. He's an expiring contract. Not really something I need to see here. So, Memphis Grizzlies, first round pick's a first round pick. We are all set. Let me set the rotation. We are not a good basketball team. I think everybody can kind of put that together. Obviously, we made some trades, set ourselves up with some more future draft picks. Kind of trimmed off the edges a little bit in terms of guys we think are only going to be here for this season. Might as well trade them. Here's how it's going to look. Backcourt is actually the strong suit. It's LaMelo Ball and Scary Terry. I like this backcourt a lot. We'll see if it can stay here the whole video. We got Gordon Hayward here starting at the 3. Obviously not really a long-term option. He's making a decent amount of money. And he's just overall not really that good anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. Not good enough to be a starter on a championship team here in one of my rebuilds anyways. PJ Washington, I actually am going to give the nod here to Mark Williams. The 15th overall pick in the 2022 draft, 7 feet tall out of Duke. I'm going to give him the nod. Might as well at this point, really. We have nothing to lose. Alex Caruso will be the 6th man, followed by Cody Martin, Jalen McDaniels, Nick Richards, and then James Bouknight. I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can send Kai Jones down to the G League. Could be a little bit of progression. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Probably not going to be a good year. Nearly a 39-point triple-double for Mr. Luka Doncic does take home the MVP award. Real surprise there, 2K. Jabari Smith Jr., Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, 6th man. Bam Adebayo, Defensive Player of the Year. Awesome. Trey Jones, Most Improved. Taylor Jenkins, 63-19 for the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, let's take a look at the standings, see just how bad we were. 28-54. That is, oops, wrong button there. 28-54 is currently what? Tied for the 3rd worst record in the league? That's not too bad. Obviously looking at hopefully a top draft pick. Led in points per game by LaMelo Ball. 23 points, 7.5 boards, 8.5 assists. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful year from him. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Mark Williams. Actually pretty solid rookie campaign. 12, 7, 1.5. I will take that. 51% from the field. Almost just over 2 blocks a game. Fine by me. PJ Washington, Bouknight. Needs to be getting more minutes, definitely. That's on me. Nick Richards, Caruso, McDaniels, Cody Martin. Rebounds, led by Lonzo Ball. LaMelo. Assists also led by LaMelo Ball. We are clearly not in the playoffs, so we really don't have too much to worry about. Let's simulate this real quick. See what happens. Anthony Edwards, Western Conference Finals MVP. Jason Tatum, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Tatum and the Celtics go on to win the finals. Yeah, I'm not really going to get into my thoughts on the whole Ime Udoka situation right now. If you want to see my thoughts, they're on Twitter. That's all I'm going to say right now. I'm just not getting into it. All right, let's take a look at the draft lottery. Let's see if maybe we can get a little bit lucky here. Maybe have one of these top... Oh, wait, it's lottery protected. Our pick from the Spurs. I'm trying to think what trade that could be from. And unless it got sent to the Spurs just by some other trade, I can't really think of it. So I don't think there's any way it traces back all the way to Tony Parker. Oh, my God, we have the number 1 overall pick. And Tony Parker, I'm pretty sure, was just a free agent signing when he signed with the Hornets anyways. So, staff signing, Steve Clifford, not a good head coach in my opinion. I think there's better options, so we are going to move on. Pops here, it's not even worth attempting to sign Greg Popovich. He's not going to come here. So, let's list this by head coaches, see some of the options here. I mean, obviously, wherever Stauffer is, he's here. Ooh, who's Lucas? Actually, has some pretty good ratings. Lucas. Want to come over to Charlotte? You're our new head coach. Welcome to the Hornets. All right, number 1 overall draft pick. Number 1 overall draft pick. Obviously means we have a lot of flexibility right now, which is a really, really good thing. I think the obvious pick would be to take Victor Wembanyama. I hate to say it, but the weakest spot in our starting 5 is definitely the center spot. So I might just go ahead and make the obvious move and just take him. But I'm also possibly going to trade up for another high draft pick. Let's see what we can do. Houston has the number 5 overall draft pick. I'm more than willing to give them Gordon Hayward for that pick. Let's see if they want to make a trade. So, any other players I'd be willing to maybe throw in here? Honestly, I'd probably give up Caruso as well. You know, he's a solid backup point guard option, but when our strongest starter is a point guard, I don't need the best backup point guard option. So, Caruso could be in this trade as well, and then I'll probably have to throw in at least a pick or two. I will do this Grizzlies pick in 2025, and they agree to that. So we now have the number 1 and number 5 overall draft picks. Obviously, you know who I'm taking 1, Victor Wembanyama, 100% going to be here. We have a glaring hole at the center spot. So welcome to Charlotte, going to be our new option here. Other than that, Brandon Miller's here. Small forward's definitely a need. Gregory Jackson, also a possibility. Look at the summary. Cameron Whitmore actually went to. Wow, Henderson fell all the way to 4. Not that I really needed him, but I don't know. It would have been cool to see him play next to LaMelo. Anthony Black would have been a guy I was definitely targeting. I think small forward is now probably the biggest hole on this team without a doubt. Brandon Miller might be my guy. He's 6'9" out of Alabama. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a lot about him. I know Alzer Thompson's also a very highly rated prospect along with Tariq Whitehead, Amen Thompson. You know what I'll actually do? I'll pull up a 2023 mock draft. Whoever's the highest rated small forward here, that's what I'll do. So just listing off this one draft that I'm looking at right now, the highest ranked small forward on this draft that's still available here in 2K is Tariq Whitehead. honestly, I'm thinking I'm going to go with him. I think it's actually a really good pick. And we're going to do it. I see Nick Smith's like really highly rated, but 6'5" does make me a little bit nervous at the small forward spot. So he's only 6'6". Do I maybe take Nick Smith? You know what? Fuck it. Nick Smith, welcome to the Charlotte Hornets. We also do have a second round pick. Why not? Maybe we can get a bench piece here. Sid Cisse, Armando Bacot is here. I've drafted him before. Jalen Warney couldn't be a backup shooting guard option. Maybe if whatever his name is doesn't work out. Who's our dude we have from UConn? I just hyped him out at the beginning of this video. I'm already forgetting his fucking name. It's been a long day. Jim Adkins. There's no way you're a real person. All right, let's take Jalen Warney. Welcome to the team. I would have taken Armando Bacot. We just definitely don't need another center. So let's see our rookies. We got Victor Wembanyama, 81. We have Nick Smith, 79. Jalen Warney's a 73 overall. Beautiful draft. I'm very happy with that. Nick Smith is going to get moved to the starting small forward spot. If it ends up that he maybe has to move back to shooting guard, I won't be too mad with that, but we're just going to move him to the small forward spot for now. And secondary position shooting guard, so we're good there. So let's take a look at some team player options. Lamelo obviously coming back, but that's its fucking name. I'm forgetting names. All of these guys can kind of come back. Some of them may or may not be in a trade. I'm thinking positionally now, maybe what's a little bit weak might be PJ Washington at the power forward spot, but he's not weak enough to not get a qualifying offer. He's obviously going to still get that. But I'm maybe thinking we make an upgrade. Maybe we do a sign-in trade with him of some sort after the moratorium period's over. We definitely don't have any money, right? Wow, actually we have $39 million. I mean, do I maybe sign like Tingus Pingus? Play him at the power forward spot? I mean, there are definitely worse options. I'm thinking I either do something like that or maybe I go ahead and try to make a big trade, but I just don't know with the assets we have if I could really make a big trade. I'm honestly thinking I might go ahead and sign Kristaps Porzingis. He has 10 offers, so yeah, 4 years, $140 million. What does that break down to? What is that, 140 divided by 4? It's like $35 million a year. You know what? Let's sign Kristaps Porzingis. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm actually I'm very fine with that. Kristaps Porzingis, welcome to the team. PJ Washington, I actually don't believe I'd even have to renounce. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I could actually also save Nick Richards as well. So hopefully PJ Washington waits. He's actually be a really good backup option. And we got Kristaps Porzingis here. He's kind of our guy. We go out and we get our man. We clear up all this cap space. PJ Washington now going to come back around $13.5 million a year. And I'm in a good spot right now. I'm pretty excited with the way this team's currently constructed. I think we did a pretty good job of putting together a fun team. We can maybe win some games next year. I think right now what we're possibly looking to do is find a new backup point guard. Kristaps Porzingis obviously going to be getting moved down to the power forward spot. He goes down in overall. That's fine by me. Let's see if we can find that trade. We're actually going to get 2 first-round draft picks here from the Indiana Pacers for Kai Jones and JT Thor. I put them both in a trade finder in hopes of actually finding a backup point guard. But these first-round draft picks from the Pacers honestly look like they could be pretty valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We look at some backup options here. Aaron Holiday, fine by me. He's a good player. I don't need the world's greatest backup point guard when the best player on my team's a point guard. So this team is all set. You guys see how it's kind of going to look. I'm really excited for hopefully a much better second season. And I'll see you guys at the rotation. It is officially the start of year 2 here in Charlotte. We made a whole lot of moves this offseason and moves that are hopefully going to set us up for some success. Now, will that success come this year? I don't know. I'm thinking this team possibly could sneak into the play-in, maybe even a late playoff spot. So only time will tell, but I'm really excited for definitely next year. Here's how it's going to look. It's Lamelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Nick Smith, Kristaps Porzingis, and Victor Wembanyama. Got a lot of size in this front court with a maybe somewhat small forward, so that works for me. We got PJ Washington, Cody Martin, Aaron Holiday, James Bouknight, Mark Williams coming off the bench. Excited to see what this team can do. I'll see you guys at the end of the second season. I was actually able to see our record before year 2 stopped simming. We went 40-42, so definitely not where we wanted to be, but we're definitely closer to where we want to be. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. It's good enough for a year 2. Obviously, we completely redid this team, revamped the entire squad. I can live with it. Ja Morant, MVP. Cool to see somebody besides Luka finally getting some recognition. Scoot Henderson takes home Rookie of the Year. Would have been cool if Victor Wembanyama could have won it for us, but Scoot Henderson, hell of a basketball player. Nikola Vucevic, new home in San Antonio. 6th Man of the Year. I don't know if he's backing up Jakob Poeltl or what's going on. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Maxey, Most Improved. Xavier Booker, Staff Coach of the Year. So let's take a look at the standings. We finished with a record of 40-42, as I mentioned. So we are in the play-in. There's definitely a possibility we may be sneaking to a playoff spot, but only time will tell. Let's take a look at the numbers, see how it was done. Led in points by Mr. Lamelo Ball. Hell of a year, almost 23.5 points. 7.5 boards, 9 assists, beautiful. Kristaps Porzingis, Terry Rozier, Nick Smith, Victor Wembanyama. Maybe like to get those rebounds up a little bit, but I can live with it. Book Knight, 6-man. Actually, wasn't our 6-man off the bench, but very impressive. 6-man numbers off the bench, I guess, leading us in points. Fun team. Rebounds, led by Kristaps Porzingis, and assists was obviously Lamelo. So we are in the play-in here. We got a play-in game against, the Detroit Pistons. Let's see their squad. They got D'Angelo Russell, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Gregory Jackson, Isaiah Stewart. They got Wiggins coming off the bench, Jaden Ivey, Darius Baisley. I think Sadiq Bey is poised for a breakout season this year. Just my take. Let's sim the game. We end up losing, so we are eliminated officially from the playoffs, which means we can go ahead and sim the rest of it. Unfortunate, but I'm really thinking this next season's going to be it for us. Garland wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Towns takes home West. Surprised the Sacramento Kings at a 5 seed over there. They make any major changes? And Cameron Whitmore they drafted, but no, not really. Good for them. Cavs going to win the finals. Darius Garland Finals MVP. So off-season number 2, the final off-season here for us. Let's see if we can get something done. I don't believe we traded for any picks that are in the lottery per se. But let's simulate it. The Spurs end up with number 1 overall pick, followed by the Bulls, Thunder, Rockets, and then Thunder again. I didn't know if we have any other draft picks. Do I want to move with Lucas? What are the other coaches here? What are some other options here for me? Just hypothetically, obviously. Arthur Farrell has some pretty decent ratings. I'm looking for somebody that checks off a lot of the boxes. Keith Starks, pretty bad defensive rating though. I mean, obviously I know. Ooh, who's Andy Gaines? That potential's a little low, but we only really need him for 1 year. I kind of like those ratings. Trent Hardaway, Steve Nash, nah. I mean, his ratings are good, but I just don't think he's necessarily a good head coach. I mean, I could not bring him back Steve Clifford. I just refuse to. I'm actually a big Mark Daigneault fan. I may bring Mark Daigneault in, or I could just go Stauffer. Yeah. I'm just going to bring in Stauffer. It feels like it's probably the smart thing to do at this point. I mean, we have a team that we're a little bit, I don't want to say uncertain of, but a team that, oh wait, are we in the wrong department right now? But we have a team that we really haven't done much with. So where's Mike Stauffer? Did I miss him? No, there's no way I missed him. Am I dumb? Give me a second. Mike Stauffer is currently mulling our contract offer to him, and now he's tentative. So I guess we're in the mood to find a new head coach. And I think Mark Daigneault's probably my answer if he is still here. I hate the coaching system in this game. Did Mark Daigneault get signed? Fuck. All right, Will Hardy, former Celtics coach. Actually has some pretty decent ratings, or not head coach, but he was a former assistant with the Celtics, now the head coach of the Utah Jazz. All right, up to the NBA draft. I'm sure the Celtics are missing Will Hardy right about now. We have the 23rd overall draft pick along with 24 and 28 in round 2. I don't really feel like we maybe need that. Maybe we look for an upgrade somewhere. I'm thinking maybe we move on from Cody Martin right here. Maybe try to find an upgrade to back up Nick Smith. Let's see what we can do. I have no idea who Baba Miller is, but he played pretty well last year for the Orlando Magic and the Milwaukee Bucks. 10.5 points, around 4 boards, 2 assists, was 45-ish% from the field. A little bit low in the three-point shooting, but he's tall. He's 6'11", and he's a little bit younger. So I'm happy to have him here. I think we had another second-round pick. I probably won't. Yeah, no, I'm good. All right, team player options. Book Knight, yes. Mark Williams, yes. Jalen Warney, yes. Definitely a possibility. LaMelo's getting that qualifying. It's the final year. I'll just give him the qualifying anyways. He's not going anywhere. So max out LaMelo Ball. He will accept it, and he will get the qualifying. All right, Nick Richards. I probably really don't. Oh, wow, LaMelo. Did that say the Lakers? I can't even see it. But, yeah, you're coming back. What the fuck? That's... Ugh, LaMelo going to the Lake Show? No, thanks. Welcome back to Charlotte, LaMelo. Obviously happy to have you here. So, what moves do we want to make? It kind of comes down to it. Obviously, I think this team is good. I think development's a big thing. If this was a 5-year rebuild, I probably wouldn't touch it. But just as it's a 3-year rebuild, we might have to make a trade. Let's see what we can do. So I checked the stats, and Tyler Hero's coming off a season where he averaged 28 points for the Miami Heat. Now, do I think Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero have the same trade value? Probably not. But for some reason, the Heat value him very, very similarly. So I'm going to see if they want to give me Tyler Hero, who at this point in time is obviously an upgrade over Terry Rozier. Now, I don't necessarily know if this puts us over the top, but I think it was a move that kind of had to be made. It was between him and Nick Smith, and I kind of wanted to roll with Nick Smith. There was something about me drafting him, making that trade to trade up for another high draft pick. Makes me kind of appreciate him a little bit more. Tyler Hero, welcome to the team. We gave up Jalen Warney. He was probably not going to play because we do have James Bouknight here. So, yeah, that's pretty much the squad heading into the final season. Hopefully development can help this team a lot as well. And I'll see you guys at the rotation at the start of year 3. It's the final year for us here in Charlotte. We've put together a really fun team, kind of a dynamic team, if you will. I mean, the defense in this backcourt's not going to be very good. But other than that, I'm really liking this team. It's LaMelo Ball, Tyler Hero, Nick Smith, who I thought would progress a little bit more, Kristaps Porzingis, and then Victor Wembanyama. The bench unit. James Bouknight has basically been leading us in scoring off the bench. I thought, why not? Let's just give him the six-man role. Followed by P.J. Washington, Mark Williams, Baba Miller, and then Aaron Holiday. Let's see if we can maybe pull a miracle, win a championship. We'll see you guys at the end of the third and final season. The third season is over. I was scrolling through Twitter while the season was simulating, so I'm not going to lie, I didn't see our record. My bad. Ja Morant, second straight MVP. He's obviously very good at basketball. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year, ended up being the number 2 overall draft pick by the Chicago Bulls. Like, the dynamic of the Bulls in this game is crazy, because in some rebuilds, I see them win championships in year 1, and then in some other rebuilds, I see them having, like, the number 2 overall pick. I don't think they're really near either. I think they're very much in the middle, but that's just me. Jaden Ivey, sixth man of the year. Anthony Davis, defense. What in the hell? We're going to take a look at that Warriors team real soon. Derek Whitehead, most improved. JB Bickerstaff, coach of the year. Who's our head coach again? Will Hardy. Let's take a look at the standings. Let's just see how it was done, and we end up here. Oh, we're 62-20. Okay, I will take that here. Cavs are obviously a powerhouse, but I was looking like down here into the Celtics, Raptors, and Sixers, but 62-20. Talk to me nice. Are the Warriors not even in the playoffs? What in the world is going on in this game? Points per game. We were led by Tyler Hero, just under 23 at 5-5. Lamelo, obviously insane. He averages a double-double. Nick Smith taking that next step. Love to see it. Kristaps Porzingis, Victor Wembanyama, Bouknight, double-digit points off the bench. Thing of beauty. Mark Williams, Baba Miller, P.J. Washington, Aaron Holiday, Dougie McDermott. Kristaps Porzingis led us in boards and assists. Obviously, LaMelo Ball. So we're still in the play-in. This time we're not in it, though. We're going to see who we're playing in round 1. It's the 76ers. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey. I'm actually not going to lie. I actually tried to trade for Tyrese Maxey instead of Tyler Hero like before him, and they were not having it. So would have been fun to have had him, but we got Tyler Hero. I'm happy with it. We are up 2-1 here in round 1. Oh, excuse me, wrong button. And we end up winning in 5. Moving on to the Orlando Magic, 3 seed. Gus Garrett, 74 overall. You got Jalen Suggs. Oh, Paul George. Good to see that regression still hitting for Paul George because yeah, well, he might deserve it with numbers like that. Paolo Carol Valanciunas, Franz Wagner, Clint Capella. Okay, so really, really good fucking bench there for Orlando. Definitely one of the stronger suits of that team right there. We're 2-2 with them. We go up 3-2. That was a huge game 5, and we win in 6. Here comes a really tough challenge here. This old friend Kelly Oubre. This is an insane. How do you get Patrick Williams and Malik Monk and you still have Rubio? I mean that team and as a whole just scares the living shit out of me. I mean they're going to be a problem for years to come in the East. We're up 3-2 though, and we're in the finals. DeJounte Murray and the Utah Jazz also in the finals. Interesting. What does this Jazz team look like? Oh, I seriously, somebody. I don't know. I don't give a fuck who it is. You can hire an 11-year-old for all I care. Needs to be, one, fired as the designer of the Utah Jazz's jerseys, and then 2, you need to hire somebody. Hire an 11-year-old. I don't care. Who put this prototype together? I know it's a real thing. Who put this prototype together and said, yeah, no, this is hard. This is exactly what we need here in Utah to spice some things up here. For a season. I know they're getting rid of them after a year most likely, but what in the Jesus H fuck is going on right here? I mean, just what are those jerseys? Those are some of the ugliest fucking things I've ever seen. And I'm hoping we're not going to get our cheeks clapped right now, are we? Oh, come on, man. Give me a championship. Give me a championship. Give me a championship. Let's fucking go, baby. Come back from a down 3-1. This team might not have been a championship contender, but my God almighty, we fucking earned it. Oh, I am happy. It felt good. I've had a stressful 24 hours now. Well, now that you're seeing this on Friday. Have a good weekend, by the way. 48 hours. Ime Udoka. Oh, I'm not getting into it. I told myself I'm not posting anything on YouTube about it, so check me out on Twitter if you want to see it. All right, that wraps this one up. That pretty much does it for this one. Of course, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Of course, if you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you. But other than that, let me know what you all want to see down below in the comment section. If you guys watch my videos early, give me some early comments. I need a little more traction. I'd appreciate it. I'm just kidding. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.